Hello everybody, welcome back to 10-Minute Reviews. I'm Jason. This fuzzy one right here that's stretching is Freya, my fuzzy little co-star, Stretchy. And we're bringing you today's video. Come on. You want to say hi on the camera? Come on. She's just looking at me. It's elevator music playing in her head. So as always guys, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. We're just a small family channel. Just love to talk about books and want to keep bringing you guys more books to read, more authors to find. We'd really appreciate any support you might want to give us. Although we're going to keep doing this anyway because books, how can we stop? And oh boy, she's got her toy again. You guys may hear some squeaking in the background. So today I want to talk about an author that I've talked about many times in the past actually, and one of his newer books. I want to talk about Bruce Sentar and his book Saving Supervillains 4. Now, as some of you guys already know from watching some of our other videos, I'm a huge fan of Bruce Sentar. I like a lot of his books and a lot of his series. What I really appreciate with Mr. Sentar also, is that he doesn't write these forever series. He generally makes sure that his series end so that we don't have these just ongoing forever and ever, which really drives me nuts with a lot of authors' series. But he comes up with an end game. He ends the series, then he moves on to the next one, which is awesome because we get different stuff from him. But this one, Saving Supervillains 4, you guys already know I'm a fan of the superhero genre. I am a fan of the series. The first 3 books were a lot of fun. If I were to rate this in comparison to, if I were just to rate this as, I just got to read it for a ton of fun, I'd put it at a 6. If I was 6 to 7, if I was going to rate this as far as the rest of Mr. Sentar's work, I actually might drop this one down to a 3 or 4. To me, it has declined as the series has gone on, but it's still fun and it's still interesting. And since I know there's an end game and that he's not going to string this along, I am very much going to continue the series. I just find this particular one to be the weakest of all of the ones that have come out. So I'm not going to do the usual 4 categories thing because I've talked about it when I talked about book 1, book 2, and book 3. I just want to talk a little bit about the plot, a little bit about the book. This is probably going to be a little shorter of a video. I don't want to give away spoilers and stuff like this. But so we're back with Miles, as he has completed the plan that they made in book 3 as far as being able to head on out to New Haven and be able to meet the supervillain Deva, however it's pronounced, that is running this city. That's basically what it is. It's a haven for superpowered individuals, primarily supervillains. But as you learn, it was pretty selective. Not every supervillain was actually a villain. Circumstances, of course, can change things, such as Miles himself and his childhood and how his powers first came to be. And what's interesting is a big portion of this book just deals with the city of New Haven, and you can see the appeal. You really can. As you read it, you can definitely see the appeal and read the appeal into it. I could see how Miles might just want to uproot everybody and bring them over to this city. Bring them over to this city where they'll have a better life. Definitely be treated better. He's considered a god king because one thing that Diva did is she kind of introduced and positioned herself as the goddess of this city, New Haven, partially because apparently she can't die, although Miles is still trying to figure that part of her powers out. So a big part of his not very subtle spy mission into New Haven. It's just learning more about it and almost turning it into a little bit of a vacation and kind of building up allies. Instead of it being so much an antagonistic, he's trying to spy on his enemy, he's actually building relationships over there too, and even manages to build connections between the 2 cities that are semi-independent of him. And again, just learning more about the world and how the powers work out there, and realizing that it's the Titans, these uber powerful beasts that are the real problem, and how there could be another wave coming that could be even stronger and even more dangerous. And Miles really enjoys this area because he can be himself. He can be out with his powers. Doesn't have to hide his identity. Doesn't have to hide his powers. He kills a couple of Titans, loses to a Titan. It's interesting. They cover a little bit more about these monster fruits that are there, a little bit more about powers. His powers continue to evolve and get stronger as he learns more about them. The downside to this book, the parts that I didn't like, honestly, was about 2/3 of it. This one of all four of them, this was the most boring to me. I really like slice of life. I really, 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 really do like slice of life, but there was just so much fluff with him and his girls, and also, as you guys may know from some of the other videos, I don't like the over-the-top caricature female harem type girls, and that's what a lot of his very, very, very much are. They're within this book, the Soup Miles characters, they are all mentally challenged in some way, shape, or form. Every single one of them is severely messed up, and we're not talking trauma. We're talking like childlike. I mean, it's almost creepy how, unless we end up finding out that Miles's superpower also deals with I don't know, utter infatuation and some form of mental bondage or something. It doesn't make it's just so weird and boring and dull how they're also in love with him and do this for him and do that. It's terrible. It honestly is. I hate his harem. Absolutely hate the harem in this book, and I love superhero books. So, guys, while that's one negative, the series is awesome. The series is awesome. While I find this to be the weakest, it's still a good book. It's still a lot of fun. I really enjoy the plot, and I love learning more about the world. This is aside from Dungeon Diving, that was just a phenomenal book. This to me is Bruce Sentar's second best as far as world building. Like, I like the world. I really, really like the world. The more we learn about the world outside of the cities and the Titans and the powers, Miles, you kind of your stereotypical overpowered main character, but the powers and the way they interact and this world, it's fascinating, and I like how he's kind of building these connections between the two cities. So honestly, of all of the lit RPG and harem lit, this isn't lit RPG, of all the harem lit books I read, this one more than any of the others, I don't just skip past the brown chicken brown cow type of scenes. I actually skip past pretty much almost everything in which his harem, any of these superpowered women pop up, unless it's dealing directly with some form of the plot of the world, as in they're fighting one of the bad guys, or they're investigating something, or they're doing this. But anything dealing with them going on a picnic, going back to their rooms, talking after dinner, all that I skip right past, because I just can't. But the plot, it's gripping, and I gotta know what happens next. I love how in the afterword he talks about how he already knows what the end game is, and it's either going to be book 5 or book 5 and 6, but no more than 2 more books. Possibly might even get wrapped up in the next book, and guys, I can't wait, because I'm still fascinated. I still want to know. He's written an awesome book. So thank you everybody for watching, and we will catch you guys next time. Bye now.